The church doors slammed shut behind Byrne as he stumbled out into the pouring rain. His tuxedo soaked in seconds, but it was the sting in his chest that drowned him. "I can't marry her. Not when I'm in love with you," he'd blurted out to Mark, his best man. Right there in front of the altar during the rehearsal, the words exploding like a grenade in the quiet sanctuary. The gasps from the wedding party still echoed in his ears as he ran, leaving behind a life that had been meticulously planned, until that moment shattered everything. Byrne collapsed onto a bench in the park across the street, his breath coming in ragged bursts. The rain mixed with tears he hadn't realized were falling. How had it come to this? He'd known Mark since college, their friendship forged in late-night study sessions and shared dreams of making it big in Chicago's cutthroat finance world. Mark was the golden boy, straight-A student, star athlete, now engaged to Emily, Byrne's sister. Byrne had buried his feelings deep, convincing himself it was just admiration, until the rehearsal dinner last night when Mark's hand lingered too long on his shoulder, and the truth clawed its way out. His phone buzzed relentlessly in his pocket. Texts from Emily. "What the hell, Byrne? Are you serious?" From his parents. "Come back now. We need to talk." And nothing from Mark. That silence cut deeper than any rejection. Byrne had grown up in a conservative suburb of Chicago, where family meant everything. Sunday dinners, holidays filled with laughter, and unspoken rules about who you were supposed to be. His father, a retired cop, had always preached about duty and honor. Coming out now, at 28, felt like betraying that legacy. But hiding it any longer would have been a slower death. As the rain eased, Byrne stood up, wiping his face. He couldn't go back to the church, not yet. Instead, he walked aimlessly toward the lakefront, the city skyline looming like a judgmental giant. Hours passed before he found himself at a small cafe, nursing a black coffee that tasted like regret. That's when his phone rang. Mark. Byrne's heart pounded as he answered. "We need to meet," Mark said, his voice steady but edged with something Byrne couldn't place. Alone. They met at their old college bar, a dimly lit spot with worn booths and the faint smell of stale beer. Mark was already there, nursing a whiskey, his tie loosened, eyes bloodshot. "You ruined everything," Mark said without preamble as Byrne slid into the seat across from him. "Emily's devastated. Your parents are furious. What were you thinking?" "I was thinking I couldn't lie anymore," Byrne shot back, his voice trembling. "I've loved you for years, Mark. Watching you with Emily killed me, but she's my sister. God, what have I done?" Mark leaned forward, his face a mask of conflict. "You think you're the only one suffering? I felt it too, Byrne. The way we connect, it's not just friendship. But I love Emily. We're building a life. Kids, a house in the suburbs. You can't just drop this bomb and expect me to walk away." The words hung between them like smoke. Byrne's mind raced. Mark felt it too, but the admission came with a price. Mark wasn't choosing him. "So what now?" Byrne asked, his throat tight. "You pretend this never happened? Marry my sister while knowing this?" Mark sighed, rubbing his temples. "I don't know, but you need to fix this with your family. Apologize, say it was a joke or nerves. Anything." Byrne shook his head. "I can't. Not anymore." He stood up, leaving money on the table. As he walked out, the weight of his decision settled in. He'd lost his best friend, alienated his family, all for a truth that might destroy him. The next morning, Byrne woke in his small apartment to pounding on the door. It was his father, face red with anger. "Get in the car," he barked. "We're going home." The drive to the family house was silent, tension thick as fog. When they arrived, Emily was there, eyes puffy from crying, his mother hovering anxiously. "How could you do this?" Emily whispered, her voice breaking. "To me? To Mark." "I'm sorry," Byrne said, meaning it, "but I had to be honest." His father exploded. "Honest? You're gay? That's not honest. That's selfish. You've embarrassed us all. What will the neighbors say? The church?" The argument escalated, words flying like daggers. His mother tried to mediate, but it was futile. By the end, his father issued an ultimatum: deny it or don't come back. Byrne chose the door, walking out into uncertainty. Days blurred into weeks. Byrne threw himself into work at the investment firm, but whispers followed him. Rumors from the wedding circle. His performance slipped, and soon his boss called him in. Personal issues affecting the team, he said. Take some time off. Felt like another rejection. In the midst of it all, Byrne met Jamie at a support group for LGBTQ+ professionals. Jamie was confident, openly gay, with a sharp wit that cut through Byrne's defenses. Their first coffee turned into dinner, then more. Jamie listened to Byrne's story without judgment, sharing his own tales of coming out in a small town. For the first time, Byrne felt seen, but guilt gnawed at him. Emily and Mark's wedding was postponed, the family rift widening. Byrne reached out to Emily, but she hung up. Mark avoided him entirely. One night, alone in his apartment, Byrne broke down. Was honesty worth this pain? As months passed, Byrne and Jamie grew closer, their relationship a beacon in the storm. But shadows lingered, family ties frayed, societal stares at work events. Byrne wondered if he'd ever mend what he'd broken, or if this was the price of living authentically. Byrne stared at the email from his sister. We need to talk, in person. It had been 6 months since the rehearsal disaster, and the silence had been deafening. He agreed to meet at a neutral spot, a quiet diner on the outskirts of Chicago. When he arrived, Emily was already there, fiddling with her napkin, her engagement ring glinting under the fluorescent lights. You look good, Byrne said awkwardly as he sat down. She didn't smile. Mark and I are back on track. Weddings in 3 months. The words hit like a punch. Byrne nodded, forcing a neutral expression. But I need to know. Did you mean it? About him? Byrne swallowed hard. Yes, but I never acted on it. I respect you both. Emily's eyes welled up. He told me everything. How he's confused too. But he chose me. Us. She paused, her voice dropping. Dad wants you to stay away. Mom misses you, but she's torn. The conversation shifted to pleas and accusations. Emily begged him to reconsider his lifestyle, as if it were a choice. Byrne defended himself, explaining the years of suppression, the fear of rejection. By the end, they hugged tentatively, but the divide remained. Back at work, Byrne faced another blow. His promotion was denied, subtly linked to cultural fit. Whispers about his orientation circulated, fueled by a colleague who'd attended the rehearsal. Frustrated, Byrne confided in Jamie. It's like I'm marked, he said. Jamie, a social worker specializing in foster care, encouraged him. Fight it, or find a place that values you. Their relationship deepened, filled with quiet evenings cooking dinner and debating politics. Jamie introduced Byrne to his world, volunteering at a youth center for at-risk LGBTQ+ teens. Byrne found purpose there, mentoring kids who mirrored his struggles. One evening, after a particularly tough session with a teen facing homelessness, Jamie turned to Byrne. These kids need stable homes. Ever thought about fostering? Byrne laughed it off at first. Me? A dad? With my family mess. But the idea took root. Months later, after classes and background checks, Byrne and Jamie applied to foster. The process was grueling, interviews probing their relationship stability. As a same-sex couple, you'll face extra scrutiny, the caseworker warned. Meanwhile, tension with Mark resurfaced. At a mutual friend's party, they crossed paths. Mark pulled Byrne aside. I can't stop thinking about what you said. It's messing with my head. Byrne's pulse raced. What do you want from me? I don't know, Mark admitted. But Emily suspects something. She's pushing for counseling. The confession ignited old feelings, but Byrne pushed back. You're marrying my sister. Figure it out without dragging me in. The encounter left Byrne unsettled. He told Jamie, expecting jealousy, but Jamie was understanding. We all have pasts, but don't let it ruin what we have. As their fostering application progressed, they were matched with Tyler, a 14-year-old who'd bounced between homes after his parents rejected him for being gay. Tyler arrived wary, backpack slung over his shoulder. "This temporary?" he asked. "For now," Byrne said. "But we'll see." Adjusting was hard. Tyler's anger flared. Nights of arguments, slammed doors. Byrne saw his own pain reflected, pushing him to be patient. Jamie's expertise helped, but the emotional toll mounted. Then came the call from his mother. "Your father's had a heart attack." Byrne rushed to the hospital, heart pounding. In the waiting room, Emily greeted him coolly. Mark was there too, avoiding eye contact. His father survived, but recovery was slow. During visits, awkward conversations ensued. "I don't understand you," his father grumbled one day. "But I don't want to lose my son." It was a crack in the armor. Byrne opened up about Jamie, about fostering Tyler. His mother listened, tears in her eyes. Emily softened slightly, but Mark remained distant. At home, Tyler confided in Byrne. "My dad said I was a disgrace. Kicked me out." Byrne shared his story, forging a bond. But challenges arose: school bullying, Tyler's therapy sessions revealing deep trauma. One night, after Tyler's meltdown over a failed test, Byrne and Jamie argued. "This is harder than I thought," Byrne admitted. "Am I even cut out for this?" Jamie held him. "Parenting isn't easy, but we're in it together." As the wedding approached, Byrne received an invitation with a note from Emily. "Come if you can." He debated, the decision weighing heavy. Attending meant facing the past. Staying away meant more isolation. He went, Jamie by his side. At the reception, Mark approached. "I'm happy for you," he said stiffly, but his eyes betrayed regret. Later, Emily pulled Byrne aside. "Mark's been distant, I think. He has feelings for you." The revelation stunned Byrne. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying maybe I was blind, but it's too late now." Her voice cracked. "We're married." The night ended in quiet turmoil. Driving home with Jamie and Tyler, Byrne reflected on the choices made, the betrayals, the costs. Fostering brought joy, but the family wounds festered. Tyler's first family meeting was a disaster waiting to happen. Byrne had arranged it at a neutral park, hoping fresh air would ease tensions. His parents arrived hesitant, Emily and Mark trailing behind. Tyler fidgeted beside Jamie, sensing the undercurrents. Introductions were stiff. His father shook Tyler's hand firmly. "So, you're living with my son now?" Tyler nodded warily. "Yeah, they're cool." Conversation stumbled. His mother asked about school. Emily complimented Tyler's sneakers. But when the topic turned to Byrne and Jamie's relationship, silence fell. His father cleared his throat. "This fostering thing, it's good. But is it stable? With your situation?" Byrne bristled. "Our situation is a committed relationship. Tyler's thriving." Mark interjected awkwardly. "Kids need role models. Traditional ones." The words ignited a firestorm. Jamie defended calmly, but Byrne exploded. "Traditional? Like hiding who you are? Like you did, Mark?" Emily gasped. "Byrne, stop." But the dam broke. Accusations flew. Past secrets, current hypocrisies. Tyler watched wide-eyed as the adults unraveled. Finally, his father stood. This was a mistake. They left, leaving Byrne shaking. At home, Tyler confronted him. "That was about you, not me. Why drag me into your drama?" Guilt hit Byrne hard.
"I'm sorry."
"I want them to accept us, all of us." Tyler softened. "My real family didn't. But you guys do. That's enough." The incident strained Byrne and Jamie's relationship. Jamie accused Byrne of unresolved issues with Mark. "You need closure," he said. Byrne agreed, meeting Mark privately at a coffee shop. "Emily thinks you have feelings for me. Do you?" Mark hesitated. "Maybe once. But I chose her. Why stir this up?" "Because it's poisoning everything," Byrne replied. "For all of us." They parted with uneasy peace, but the encounter lingered. Back home, Byrne focused on Tyler, helping with homework, attending school events. Tyler opened up more, sharing dreams of becoming an artist. Byrne encouraged him, buying supplies, enrolling in classes. but societal pressures mounted. At work, a client pulled out after learning about Byrne's orientation. Personal values clash. The email read. Frustrated, Byrne considered quitting. Then came the court date for Tyler's permanent placement. His biological parents contested, claiming rehabilitation. Byrne and Jamie fought, presenting evidence of Tyler's progress. The hearing was tense. Lawyers probing their lifestyle, questioning stability. Why should a gay couple raise a gay teen? The opposing attorney sneered. Won't that encourage confusion? Byrne testified passionately. Love isn't confusion. It's support. Tyler deserves that. The judge ruled in their favor, but the victory was bittersweet. Tyler hugged them tightly. Thanks for fighting for me. Emboldened, Byrne reached out to his family again. His mother visited alone, bringing cookies. Your father's stubborn, but he talks about you. She met Tyler, warming to him. Emily called later. Mark and I are struggling. Counseling isn't helping. She paused. He admitted. He kissed a guy in college. Before us. The confession rocked Byrne. Mark had hidden his own truths. What now? He asked. I don't know, Emily said. But I blame you a little. For starting this. Anger flared, but Byrne empathized. We all made choices. Some wrong. As winter set in, Byrne and Jamie discussed adoption. Let's make it official, Jamie said. Byrne agreed, the process reigniting scrutiny. One evening, his father showed up unannounced. Heard about the court win. Proud of you. For the kid. It was a small olive branch, but meaningful. Yet betrayal loomed. Mark confessed to Emily about lingering doubts, leading to a separation. Emily blamed Byrne, cutting contact again. Mark reached out, desperate. I think I made a mistake. Byrne met him, heart conflicted. You can't undo a marriage like that. I know, Mark said. But what if we? No, Byrne cut in. I have Jamie, Tyler, a life. Rejecting Mark felt like closing a chapter. But it hurt. Back home, Jamie sensed it. You okay? Yeah. Byrne lied, the weight of decisions pressing down. Tyler's art show became a turning point. Family attended tentatively. His father complimented a piece. Emily smiled at Tyler's talent. Mark was absent, finalizing the divorce. Afterward, in the quiet, Byrne reflected on the costs. Lost friendships, family rifts, but gained purpose. Was it worth it? The question haunted him as High trended toward resolution. With Mark out of the picture, Emily spiraled. She showed up at Byrne's door one night, eyes red from crying. He's gone. Left me for someone else. A man. Byrne pulled her inside, shock rippling through him. Jamie made tea while Tyler retreated to his room. What happened? Byrne asked. Emily sobbed. After the separation, he explored. Said he needed to know himself. Now he's with some guy from work. The irony stung. Mark, the one who'd chosen normal, had cracked under the pressure. Byrne comforted her, but resentment bubbled. He hurt us both. Emily nodded. I hate him, and part of me hates you for exposing it. Their relationship mended slowly through shared grief. Emily visited more, bonding with Tyler over movies. She even warmed to Jamie, apologizing for past judgments. At work, Byrne quit the firm, starting his own consulting business focused on inclusive finance. It was risky but empowering. Clients came, LGBTQ+ entrepreneurs seeking advice without bias. Tyler's adoption finalized amid celebrations. His biological parents relinquished rights, acknowledging their failures. At the courthouse, Byrne's parents attended. His father shook Jamie's hand. Welcome to the family. But not all was smooth. Societal backlash hit when Tyler's school hosted a pride event. Parents protested, targeting Byrne and Jamie as influencers. Tyler faced bullying, coming home with a black eye one day. Who did this? Byrne demanded. Some kids. Called me slurs. Said my dads are freaks. Rage boiled in Byrne. He confronted the school, demanding action. The principal sympathized but cited community values. Unsatisfied, Byrne rallied other parents, organizing a meeting. Debates heated, accusations of agenda pushing versus calls for equality. In the end, the school implemented anti-bullying policies, but the fight exhausted Byrne. "Is this the world we're raising him in?" he asked Jamie. "It's changing," Jamie replied, "because of people like us." Emily's healing brought unexpected alliances. She joined a support group for spouses of those coming out later in life. "I get it now," she told Byrne. "The pain of secrets." Mark reappeared, apologetic. He met Byrne at a park. "I was wrong. About everything. I'm sorry for the mess." Byrne listened. "You betrayed Emily. And me in a way." Mark nodded. "I'm figuring myself out. Dating openly now." Closure came, but scars remained. Byrne wished him well, focusing on his own life. As spring bloomed, Byrne and Jamie considered expanding their family. They fostered Mia, a 10-year-old with a history of neglect. Her arrival brought chaos, night terrors, trust issues. Tyler stepped up as big brother, helping her adjust. Family dynamics shifted. His parents hosted dinners, including Jamie and the kids. His father shared stories from his cop days, bonding with Tyler over sports. But undercurrents of unease lingered, subtle comments about normal families. One dinner escalated when his father questioned Mia's placement. "Two dads for a girl? She needs a mom figure." Emily defended. "They are her family. Better than none." The argument revealed lingering prejudices, but also growth. His father apologized later. "I'm trying, son." Byrne appreciated the effort, but the emotional toll mounted. Sleepless nights with Mia, work stress, family mending, it all accumulated. Jamie noticed. "You're carrying too much." "I have to," Byrne said. "For them." A crisis hit when Tyler ran away after a fight about curfew. Panic set in as hours passed. They searched parks, friends' houses. Finally, a call from the youth center. Tyler was there. "Why?" Byrne asked, hugging him. "Felt overwhelmed. Like I'm the reason for all this drama." "You're not," Byrne assured. "You're the best part." The incident prompted therapy for the family. Sessions uncovered Byrne's unresolved guilt over the wedding fallout. "You sacrificed for truth," the therapist said. "But forgive yourself." Progress came slowly.
Mia settled, Tyler excelled in articolo.
Byrne's business thrived, attracting media attention for its inclusive model. Yet, a final betrayal loomed. Emily revealed she'd been seeing someone new, a conservative type echoing their father's views. "He doesn't get the gay thing," she admitted. "But he's stable." Byrne worried. "Don't repeat patterns." She brushed it off, but tensions rose when the new boyfriend met the family. Subtle digs at Byrne and Jamie sparked conflict. Emily defended him initially but wavered. The breaking point came at a barbecue. The boyfriend made a homophobic joke. Byrne called him out. Emily sided with her boyfriend, storming off. The rift reopened old wounds. Byrne questioned if true acceptance was possible. Months after the barbecue blow-up, Emily called Byrne in tears. "You were right. He showed his true colors. Dumped me when I defended you." Reconciliation followed, stronger this time. Emily vowed to prioritize family over fitting in. Byrne's business boomed, landing a major contract with a nonprofit aiding LGBTQ+ youth. Media interviews followed, sharing his story. "Coming out cost me everything," he said. "But it gave me more." Publicity brought backlash, hate mail, online trolls. One night, their home was vandalized with slurs spray-painted on the door. Tyler and Mia were scared, Jamie furious. Byrne reported it, but the investigation stalled. "This is the price," Jamie said, cleaning up. "But we won't hide." They installed security, joined community vigils against hate. Tyler channeled anger into art, creating pieces on identity that won local awards. Family fully integrated. His parents babysat Mia, his father teaching her chess. "You're a good dad," he told Byrne one day. "Better than I was sometimes." The words healed deep cuts. Byrne reflected on the journey, from that fateful rehearsal to now. Betrayals had shaped him. Mark's indecision, Emily's wavers, societal rejections. But choices, honesty, fostering, building anew, defined him. One evening, as the family gathered for dinner, laughter filling the air, Byrne felt content. Jamie squeezed his hand under the table. Tyler shared school stories. Mia giggled at jokes. Yet questions lingered. Had he done right by exploding that wedding rehearsal? The chain reactions, divorces, awakenings, families formed and reformed, were they justified? As the sun set, Byrne pondered the moral gray areas. Sacrifices for truth versus preserving peace. In the end, he believed in the former, but doubts crept in during quiet moments. The story of his life wasn't tidy. It was messy, dramatic, filled with confrontations and awakenings. Each decision carried a cost. Each character paid a price. Loss of illusions, facing prejudices, rebuilding from ruins. But in the warmth of his home, surrounded by love hard-won, Byrne knew the fight was worth it. Or was it? Was destroying one family to build another truly the right choice?